So it was fixing to be an exciting summer this year. Had a few things cooking. Picked up some ground that we planned on putting up hay, basically some lease ground that we were going to put up hay on. And we're getting real close to haying season. So today we thought we'd come out and make a little trip around and see what the said lease ground was looking like. And gotta be honest with you, it's not good. It's not good. This is the alfalfa. Give you an idea. I mean, it's like nothing. I mean, what's it up on your leg? Barely over your ankles? I give you an idea there. It's middle of June right now. This stuff should be, in a typical year, this would be up over your knee, and we would be getting pretty anxious to start getting the swathers ready to roll. And that's not the case. This is not even going to make hay. So first lease ground, not going to get hayed. So that puts that under. We're going to go next. Where are we going next?
I actually don't know.
Next, we're going to our place to go look at our own hay fields at the ranch a little more closely and start to, what's the term they use when you're triage. We're going to go triage our own place and see what it's looking like.
Just every piece of ground he has is probably 3 or 4 40 20s on it. Yeah. So he never has to haul.
Some of them have loaders on them, but
They've had a few years where they haven't, but when dry years, dry year just doesn't do anything.
Just gets burned out.
she wouldn't expect you to cut this, would she?
No, that's it.
What if we should run out?
All right, well, here's the first stretch of our place. It looks so bad. Here's the hard thing about drought. It just, what do you do? So here's our hay field. Well, one of many. See that ground? It's like nuked. And it's the middle of June. There you go. You can see it on Stoney's. That's how tall we are. Almost up to the top of your boot. Here's a field that looks better, only because everything else looks so bad. This piece is one of our highest producing fields, and last year it was up to my waist. You might be able to hear in the camera. You can hear my feet crunching because it's so dried out underneath. It should be sloshing. You should hear the sloshing of grass, not the crunching of grass this time of year. You can see the ranch buildings way back there to the west. So, pardon the wind, to put this in a little perspective, our ranch bottom's basically split in half. We have half of it to the south. It's kind of a hillside that works up to the south. That's about, probably about 400 acres worth. And then the other half is down in the flats, which is out here, out in this bottom. And the bottom is always, the better producing part of the ranch. The hillside gets drier by nature. After seeing this, it's official that there's nothing on the entire south half of the ranch to cut. So you look at this alfalfa, see it's budded out. See that? That's a bud. focus. There you go. That's a bud. What that means is that it's getting ready to flower. Once it flowers, that's it. It's no longer going to grow. Here's another one right here. See this guy? It's got a good solid bud on it. It's got a good solid bud on it, so it's going to flower. That means the plant's done growing. It's through. It's not going to grow any taller. We get 2 inches of rain tomorrow, it's not going to do a thing. This alfalfa is done. It's done. So what do you do going forward? We'll end up turning our cows in here because we're going to be short on pasture because our normal pastures are drying out so fast. We will put the cows in this part of the hay fields, and we'll have more pasture for the summertime. But ultimately, you get backed up against the wall. We can come up with enough pasture for the cows for the summer because we're not going to cut hay. But ultimately, we have to get hay from somewhere. And everybody needs hay, so it's going to be really dry. So you get faced with some pretty grim options. I know a lot of you've heard about drought before, but if you've never experienced it, it's kind of life-crushing. It just takes everything out of you because, I mean, the options, they're just not great. They're not great. You either got to spend all your money to buy forage, feed, hay for your cattle to get them through this coming winter, which costs so much money because everybody needs it. The price goes way up, so you make no money next year. So this is basically ensuring if you want to buy hay that you're going to make no money next year. And then the other option is you can sell your cows, which is, gets rid of the problem, but then you also have no money to make next year because you've sold your cattle, which are it'd be like selling the engine out of your semi. It's like, well, I need some money, I could sell that motor out of my truck. Well, great. What are you gonna do next time you need to haul a load? You don't have a motor. That's kind of what it's like when you have to sell your cows. So this is the last little spot here. This is the last piece on the ranch that always produces. I mean, in fact, it's almost a problematic spot because it's so thick, partially due to some weed growth, but it's such a thick little triangle here that usually by this time of year, it's partially lodged, which means the crop has laid over from heavy rain and whatever pushing down on it and wind. And so it can become difficult to cut and get a nice clean cut because it's kind of pushed into the ground. Such a huge thick spot that you can barely get over the windrows with the baler when you're baling it. I'll show you well, you can see. I'll show you up close. This is it. I mean, I'm not teasing. This is stuff that you normally, you can't hardly walk through. You trip trying to walk through it because it's so intertangled and intertwined. And the weird thing I'm noticing out here is it's just the grass. Stuff that has roots is at least, like these little alfalfa plants, they're tapping down in and getting a little moisture down there, down deep. Look at this grass. You guys, it's gone. And that's the problem. That's the problem through the ranch. It's just the grass is just nuked out. And it's Rooster and Stony and Woo and Mitzi are surveying another part of the ranch. We're gonna get together and I don't know, we'll just kind of see what they found and they come right here. This is the one you have not met yet. This is the one and only, my lovely wife. Mm-hmm. Little Birks.
Yep.
It looks really bad everywhere. Maybe we'll cut a little bit of hay south of that long cross fence, or north of that long cross fence. Other than that,
yeah. That whole hillside's
the
gone.
big hillside is.
Which,
So you think I should kick the cows into this reservoir field for a few days?
yeah, a couple at least continue
And
the
then
rotation.
move them across after that dries out a little bit more.
No, we probably want to get them on that highway stuff. Just kind of start from
This
fresh,
first
right?
field we grazed off a couple years ago. We got those July rains, and then we ended up getting
Oh,
a
yeah, you
big
end up cutting
cutting.
it later.
Big, huge cutting out of it.
Yeah. So maybe, as soon as we can. Because that reservoir still looks pretty good. I mean, isn't that weird? Like those alfalfa plants out there, big and tall. But, yeah, maybe get them on there as soon as we get that little strip cut and baled.
So I think I should move into the hill pasture.
While we do that little.
Yep, and then let everything dry a little bit more, and then start moving them on the hay ground.
Yeah. Because that irrigated grass, that one little section, will still keep growing. It looks like it was, you know, just like as usual, it always needs more time.
Yeah.
I don't think we've ever, and this is the worst case scenario. And I mean, since we've ever been here.
Worst case, I'll sell off those older cows early and those cull bulls, and we could sell calves early, but if we're grazing all that hay ground, we
Might
could
have
have
plenty of
tons of pasture.
But especially that new place with the fishing game.
If we can get the sprinklers going.
I hope so bad. One, I hope that they got enough showers down there that we'll go down and find that it's decent. And yeah, two, we'll have to get those sprinklers on. So,
Yeah, these droughts are sure fun, aren't they?
yeah. I mean, we've had some dry years, right? But I just blew me away. I've never been
600 bales is the least we've ever rolled up.
Isn't it weird how you can look around and go, how is this a drought? This just doesn't look like a drought. As you see what's behind me, you can see the hills kind of out back. You're like, how is this a drought? This can't be a drought. It's just so surface deep. It's just so surface deep and so spotty. It's just the most strange, bizarre situation. We've been here for a lot of years, you guys. 17 years, 18 years, and never had anything like this. The worst year we've ever had, we still put up 600 bales of hay, okay? I think we're gonna be lucky off of this place to get, really lucky to get 250 bales this year. It's gonna be a hardship. It's gonna be tough. We do have this one last, hopefully, ace in the hole, card up our sleeve, and that is a lease that we just picked up from the Fish and Game this year. It's about 50 miles away, and I'm gonna go check it out. And I really hope that the situation there is different. I haven't been there in about 3 weeks, and I'm really hoping that it's a different and better situation. Also, that place has irrigation. Needs some work to get it fired up, but that might be just what we need to get the ranch through this hardship. In the end, as I mentioned before, we'll get through. You make it through. You don't know how you're gonna make it through. You don't know what path you're gonna be on, but you're gonna get through. So I look forward to seeing. I wish I could just jump ahead and fast forward and see what that path is. It may mean a lot more trucking to help make ends meet, but we'll figure it out. All in all, it's a beautiful day. Still got our family, still got each other, and we will persevere. But let's keep an eye out for this ace in the hole. We'll see what it's going to look like. I'm going to be down there